Students, how are you all? Hope you all are safe and healthy at your home. So students, welcome back in your mathematics class. This is class 9th, chapter 8, chapter name quadrilaterals, and this is lecture 5. In this lecture, we will discuss exercise 8.2 questions from your NCERT, and we will do some remaining questions of exercise 8.1 in your homework solution. So students, start with exercise 8.2 first question. First question of exercise, ABCD is a quadrilateral in which PQRS are midpoints of the side AB, BC, CD and DA. AC is a diagonal. Show that SR is parallel to AC, SR is half of AC, second PQ is equal to SR, and third PQRS is a parallelogram. So students, this is your diagram for the first question of exercise 8.2. We have ABCD, a simple quadrilateral. PQRS are the midpoints of these four sides. And students, we have to prove that three things. SR parallel AC and SR is half of AC. PQ is equal to SR, and third one is PQRS is a parallelogram. So students, for this we will start our proof. Students, pay attention here. If you are saying that PQRS are the midpoints of these all four sides, so definitely midpoint theorem will be applicable here. So students, what is midpoint theorem? You remember yesterday we discussed midpoint theorem. According to midpoint theorem, the statement is a line segment joining the midpoint of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. You remember the solution also? Yes, definitely you will remember. So students, we will start our question. First of all, we will take a triangle. Remember one thing students, that we have midpoint theorem only on applicable for a triangle, not a quadrilateral. So we will take a triangle. In triangle ADC, S and R both are the midpoints of the side DC and AD. So definitely if they both are the midpoints of these two sides, according to the midpoint theorem, this line is parallel to this line and half of this line also. So we will write like this. You have to know how we will write. In triangle ADC, proper signs are most compulsory. S and R are the midpoints of sides AD and CD. From where it comes? Given. It is given. According to midpoint theorem, you have to write the statement. It is compulsory also. Otherwise, your marks will be deducted. A line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and half of it. So, because of this theorem, SR parallel AC and SR is equal to half of AC. So students, this is your first part. In second part, we have to prove that PQ and SR equal to each other. PQ and SR equal to each other. We have to prove that PQ and SR equal to each other. Students, now we've already proved that SR is parallel or half of AC. If we proved that PQ is also parallel and half of AC is equal to half of AC, then definitely they both are equal to each other. So we will apply midpoint theorem again in this triangle. So students, in triangle ABC, according to the midpoint theorem, PQ parallel AC, PQ is half of AC. This is your equation number 2 from the equation number first and second. SR is also equal to half of AC. PQ is also equal to half of AC. So definitely they both are equal to each other. So students, from the first part and the second part, in first part we proved that SR is parallel to AC. In second part we proved that PQ is parallel to AC. So definitely, and from the first and second part, SR and PQ are also equal to half of AC. So definitely if they both pairs are equal and parallel to each other, so PQRS is a parallelogram. Both sides are equal and parallel, hence PQRS is a parallelogram. This is your third part of first question. So student, now first question is finished now. Now question number second. Question number second is, ABCD is a rhombus and PQRS are the midpoints of the side AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. Show that quadrilateral PQRS is a rectangle. So students, first of all, it is given that ABCD is a rhombus. You remember all the properties of a rhombus? What are the properties of the rhombus? All sides are equal to each other. Both the diagonals are intersect or bisect each other at right angle. It means the both diagonals cut each other at angle 1, 2, 3, 4. All angles are equal to 90 degree and all sides are equal to each other. So students, what is given to us? ABCD is a rhombus. PQRS are the midpoints of the side AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. So we have to prove that PQRS is a rectangle. We have to prove that the new quadrilateral which we formed, it is a rectangle. You remember what we have to prove for a rectangle? For a rectangle, if parallelogram is given, then only 90 degree angle is sufficient. But in this question, we have a quadrilateral PQRS. First of all, we have to prove it as a parallelogram. Then we will prove one interior angle as 90 degree. Because in rectangle, opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. And in parallelogram also, all parallelograms are rectangles. Sorry, all rectangles are parallelograms. So we will prove it. Proof. In triangle ABC, let me check from your diagram. ABC, in triangle ABC, P and Q both are the midpoints of the side AB and BC. So according to midpoint theorem, you know what will happen? Yes, definitely you know. In triangle ABC, P and Q are the midpoints of the side AB and BC. According to midpoint theorem, PQ is equal to half of AC, PQ is parallel to AC. PQ is equal to half of AC and PQ is parallel to AC. This is equation number 1. So students, similarly in the triangle ADC, we can prove that by midpoint theorem, SR parallel to AC and SR is half of AC according to midpoint theorem. This is equation number 2. From equation number 1 and equation number 2, SR is parallel to AC and PQ is also parallel to AC. So definitely SR and PQ are parallel to each other. If they both are parallel to the same thing, then definitely they will parallel to each other also. SR is equal to half of AC and PQ is also equal to half of AC. So definitely they both sides are also equal to each other. So SR parallel to PQ and PQ is also equal to SR. Hence PQRS is a parallelogram. If PQRS is a parallelogram, then students, now it become a parallelogram now. So students, in this small quadrilateral, in this diagram, I am going to prove that this small quadrilateral as parallelogram. If this complete line is parallel to this complete line, then the part of this line and part of this line also parallel to each other. These two lines are parallel to each other by midpoint theorem. So definitely part of this line is also parallel to part of this line. So it become a parallelogram. So students, how we will write? In PQRS, AC is parallel to PQ. So the part of AC XO and part of PQ PY is also parallel to each other. XO, here we have X, here we have O. XO is parallel to PY. XO is parallel to PY. Similarly, SP is parallel to DF by midpoint theorem. So part of SP is XP and part of DB is OY. They both are parallel to each other. Because of these two parallel conditions, hence XPYO is also a parallelogram. If it is a parallelogram, it is given to us that ABCD is a rhombus. We know it very well that rhombus cut each other at 90 degree. The diagonals of a rhombus cut each other at 90 degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the angles are equal to 90 degree. In parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. Let me check from your diagram. Angle 3 is 90 degree. Now XPYO is a parallelogram. So the opposite angles are equal. Angle 3 and angle P are equal to each other because of the property of a parallelogram. So in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. Angle P is equal to angle 3, which is equal to 90 degree. If angle P is 90 degree, so all remaining angles of PQRS is are 90 degree. Hence PQRS is a rectangle. So student, this is your question number 2. This is very important question. You have to practice this question again and again. Now question number 3 from your NCERT is ABCD is a rectangle. PQRS are the midpoints of the side AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. Show that quadrilateral PQRS is a rhombus. Show that PQRS is a rhombus. If you are thinking that this is a converse of question number 2, then you are thinking right. Yes, definitely students. Question number 3 is the converse of question number 2. In this question, we have a ABC as a rectangle. PQRS are the midpoints and we have to prove that PQRS is a rhombus. In our previous question, ABCD was a rhombus and PQRS we have to prove that as a rectangle. So students, what is given to us? ABCD is a rectangle. PQRS are the midpoints. We have to prove that PQRS, the quadrilateral PQRS is a rhombus. So students, what we have to prove that for rhombus? All sides are equal. We have to prove that all sides are equal of this quadrilateral. So we will start with the triangle ABC. We will start with the triangle ABC. In triangle ABC, P and Q both are the midpoints of the side AB and BC. In triangle ABC, P and Q are the midpoints of the side AB and BC. According to midpoint theorem, PQ parallel AC and PQ is equal to half of AC. Similarly, we can prove that with the help of midpoint theorem in the different triangle SR parallel AC, SR is equal to half of AC. RQ is parallel to DB and RQ is also equal to half of DB. SP is parallel to DB and SP is equal to half of DB. These two conditions with the diagonal AC and these two conditions with the diagonal DB. But now, with the help of first and second equation, we can say that PQ and SR are parallel to each other because they are parallel to the same line, and PQ and SR are equal to each other because they are equal to same thing. Similarly, from the equation number 3 and 4, we can say that RQ and SP are equal as well as parallel also. But we have to prove that PQRS is a rhombus. So we have to prove that all four sides are equal to each other. So students, what is the solution? Solution is here. But we know it very well that ABCD is a rectangle. It is given that ABCD is a rectangle. And diagonals of a rectangle are equal to each other. This is a property of a rectangle. So if diagonals are equal, so all four sides are equal to each other because these two sides are equal to one diagonal and these two sides are equal to one diagonal. These two sides are equal to half of AC and these two sides are equal to half of DB. But AC and DB are equal to each other, because diagonals of a rectangle are equal to each other. So students, hence PQRS is a rhombus. So your third question is also finished now. Now question number 4. Question number 4 is ABCD is a trapezium in which AB parallel DC, BD is a diagonal and E is the midpoint of AC. A line is drawn through E parallel to AB intersecting BC at F. Show that F is the midpoint of BC. So what is given to us? First of all, ABCD is a trapezium given to us, in which one pair of sides are parallel. It is already given. Otherwise, we know it very well. In trapezium, one pair of sides are parallel to each other. E is the midpoint of AD is already given. And we produce line E such that it parallel to AB. So, O. I name it as that, the second point as O. EO is parallel to AB. We have to prove that F is the midpoint of BC. F is the midpoint of BC. So student, this is your diagram. ABCD is a trapezium in which it is given that AB and DC are parallel to each other. We produce a line from the point E, which is the midpoint of the DA. It is given, which cut the BC at point F, such that we have to prove that F is the midpoint of BC. So students, first of all, I mark this point as O, which is not given to us. Now in triangle ADB, in triangle ADB, E is the midpoint of DA, given. EO parallel AB, it is already given. Both the conditions are given. It is not assumed by me. Both the conditions are given. According to the converse of midpoint theorem, what was the converse of midpoint theorem? Theorem 8.10. That if a midpoint of in a triangle ABC, if one midpoint of one side is parallel to the another side, then it will bisect the third side. So definitely, according to the converse of midpoint theorem, O is the midpoint of DB. Because one midpoint is given, the line is parallel also given. So according to the converse of midpoint theorem, O is the midpoint of DB. Now in triangle DBC, in triangle DBC, I already proved that O is the midpoint of DB, and we know it very well. It is given to us that OF is parallel to DC, because if EO is parallel to AB, then the complete line is parallel to the second line also, because they both line are parallel to each other. It is given to us. So in DBC, O is the midpoint of DB and OF is parallel to DC given. According to the converse of midpoint theorem, F is the midpoint of BC. So see, it is very easy question. We have to apply converse of midpoint theorem 2 times and now we got our answer. Let me repeat this question. In this triangle, this is midpoint is given. This parallel to AB is also given. O is the midpoint by the converse of midpoint theorem. Now in this triangle, O is the midpoint already proved. OF parallel to DC given. By the converse of midpoint theorem, F is the midpoint of BC. So student, this is your question number 4th. Now question number 5th. Question number 5th from your NCERT exercise 8.2 is, in a parallelogram ABCD, E and F are the midpoints of the side AB and CD respectively. Show that line segment AF and EC trisected the diagonal BD. Trisected the diagonal BD. So students, what it means? First of all, ABCD is a parallelogram. It is given to us. E and F are the two midpoints of AB and CD. It is already given. We have to prove that AF and EC trisect the diagonal DB. Trisect the diagonal DB. Trisect means cut into 3 equal parts. So we have to prove that DP is equal to PQ is equal to QB. Trisect means 3 equal parts. These two lines cut it into the 3 equal parts. So students, for that we will start our proof. In parallelogram ABCD, AB is parallel to DC and AB is equal to DC. AB is parallel to DC, AB is equal to DC, because the property of a parallelogram. So the part of AB and part of DC are also parallel to each other. So part of AB is AE and part of DC is FC. So they both are equal to parallel to each other. Half of AB and half of DC, if they both are equal, then their half are also equal to each other. Half of AB is AE and half of DC is FC. Because E and F are the midpoints of these two sides, it is given to us. Hence, AECF is a parallelogram now, because one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel as well. So students, now in triangle ABP, in triangle APB, in this triangle APB, E is the midpoint of AB. It is given. E is the midpoint of AB, and now because it is a parallelogram, EQ is parallel to AB, because it is a parallelogram. EQ parallel AP. According to the converse of midpoint theorem, if E is the midpoint and EQ parallel to AB, then according to the converse of midpoint theorem, Q is the midpoint of PB. Q is the midpoint of PB. So that PQ is equals to, if Q is the midpoint, then PQ is equals to QB. PQ is equals to QB. In triangle DQC, DQC, F is the midpoint of DC given. FP is parallel to CQ because it is a parallelogram. F is the midpoint of DC and FP is parallel to QC. According to the converse of midpoint theorem, P is the midpoint of DQ, so that PQ and DP are equal to each other. PQ and DP are equal to each other. In first equation, we have PQ and QB are equal to each other. In second equation, we have PQ and DP are equal to each other. From equation number 1 and 2, DP and PQ and QB are equal to each other. So, if we prove that the diagonal DB trisected by the two lines AF and CE. So, with this question, today's lecture is finished now. Now students, your homework is, so students, do questions of exercise 8.2 from your NCERT. All questions you have to attempt along with your classwork questions. So students, now homework solution of your lecture 4. So students, in solution we will discuss the question number 12 of exercise 8.1. This is from exercise 8.1 question number 12. So students, from exercise 8.1 question number 12 is ABCD is a trapezium. ABCD is a trapezium in which AB parallel CD and AD and BC are equal to each other. It means it is a isosceles trapezium. What is given to us? ABCD is a trapezium and AB parallel CD and AD is equal to BC. So students, we have to prove angle A is equals to angle B, angle C is equals to angle D in triangle ABC is congruent to triangle BAD, and fourth part is AC is equal to BD. So first of all, we have to try to prove first part. For this we have to do a construction, extend AB at E and AD parallel CE such that AD parallel CE. We have to extend this line such that AD parallel CE, AD parallel CE. So definitely it become a parallelogram. AECD is a parallelogram because these two sides are parallel. Automatically this complete line is parallel to this, and now by construction these two lines are parallel to each other. So it is a parallelogram. In this, if it is a parallelogram, then if these two lines are parallel, then AE is a transversal. AE is a transversal line. AECD is a parallelogram, then AE is a transversal line. Then angle 1 plus angle 4 is 180 degree co-interior angle. Angle 2 plus 3 is equal to 180 degree linear pair. Let me explain from your diagram. If these two sides are parallel, this is a transversal line, angle 1 and angle 4. The sum of these two angles are 180 degree because they are co-interior angle. 2 plus 3 is also linear pair is equal to 180 degree. If the equation number 1 and 2 are there, AD is equals to C, opposite sides of a parallelogram, but it is given that AD is equal to BC. So BC and CE are also equal to each other. If BC and CE are equal to each other, then their base angles are also equal to each other. So angle 3 and angle 4 are also equal to each other. Opposite angles of equal sides are equal. Opposite angles of equal sides are equal. From equation number 1 and 2, we have two equation. This equation number 1, this equation number 2. They both are equal to 180 degree. Then definitely they both are equal to each other also. Angle 1 plus angle 4 is equal to angle 2 plus 3. We know that 3 and 4 are equal to each other. We can replace any one and make them same. So students, we replace angle 4 with angle 3. Angle 3 is cancelled with angle 3. Angle 1 plus angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other. Angle 1 is representing angle A, angle 2 is representing angle B. So first part is proved now. Angle A and B are equal to each other. Say in second part, we will start. In second part, we have to prove that angle D and angle C are also equal to each other. ABCD is a trapezium. AB and DC are parallel to each other. We know that if in a trapezium these two sides are parallel, then these two sides act as a transversal line. So this sum of these two angles are 180 degree as a co-interior, and sum of these two angles are also 180 degree as a co-interior angle. So angle A plus D is 180 degree, angle B plus C is also 180 degree. Equation number 3rd and 4th. From equation number 3rd and 4th, we will put them equal to each other. We know it very well now. A and B are equal to each other from first part. So we replace angle AB with A cancel with A. So the remaining part is angle D is equal to angle C. In third part, in triangle ABC and BAD, we have to congruent them. We need three elements. Angle A is equal to angle B, proved above. AD is equals to BC, given. AB is equals to AB, common. So students, so that by SAS congruence rule, we have both the triangles are congruent, and because these two triangles are congruent, then AC is equals to BD by CPCT, because these two are the corresponding parts of these two triangles. So fourth part is already proved now. This is your 12th question from exercise 8.1. Now students, we want to revise theorem, midpoint theorem, theorem 8.9. Midpoint theorem. Theorem 8.9 is the line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and equal to half of it. So we will start with the help of diagram. This is a triangle A, B, C given, E and F are the midpoints of side AB and AC. To prove, we have to prove that EF parallel BC and EF is half of BC. For this, we have to do a construction. We will produce EF such that to point D such that EF and FD are equal to each other. Join DC. So students, now triangle AFE and CFD. AF is equals to FC. F is the midpoint of the given. Angle 1 and angle 2 are equal to each other, vertically opposite. EF and FD are equal by construction. So that by SAS congruence rule, we have triangle AFE congruent to triangle CFD. Because these two triangles are congruent, so the one thing, AE and CD are equal to each other by CPCT. Angle 3 and angle 4 are also equal to each other by CPCT. E is the midpoint of AB. It is given to us. It means AE and EB are equal to each other, but AE is equal to CD from equation number first. From equation number first and second, CD and EB are equal to each other. Angle 3 and angle 4 are equal to each other. Why? Pair of alternate interior angle. If they are pair of alternate interior angle, so that CD and EB are parallel to each other. From equation number third, CD is equal to EB. Now CD is parallel to EB. So EBCD is a parallelogram. If it is a parallelogram, so the second pair also equal and parallel. ED is parallel to BC and ED is equal to BC and parallel to BC. If ED is parallel to BC, then the part of ED, EF, is also parallel to BC. So students, F is the midpoint of ED. EF is EF is equal to FD. ED is equal to EF plus FD. Two parts we can replace with any one. So I replace FD with EF. So it is double of EF. ED is equal to BC. Double of EF is equal to BC. EF is equal to half of BC. Hence the result is EF is parallel BC and EF is equal to half of BC. So student, this is your midpoint theorem. With this revision part, with the solution of lecture 3, today's lecture is finished now. For more videos, you have to subscribe at Quark channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.